My name is Chanel Elaine, and I am the host of tonight.
My name is Kay Nicole, and I'm your co-host for tonight's live.
Awesome, and we're going to have a very special guest with us tonight by the name of Lexi. I'm going to go ahead and pull her up, and we're going to get started. Hi, Lexi.
Hey, girl. Hey.
You know, us in this transition never work out. So, welcome to Live and Unfiltered. So, before we start, I did not tell you to grab a drink, Lexi, but you're welcome to grab a drink. I have a very tall
Great.
guy.
She knew what it was. Okay.
I've been here. I seen y'all.
Stella Rosa Red. Cheers. What you sipping on, Kia? Lex, what you sipping on?
Yeah, Lexi, go first.
I'm having some white wine.
Okay. It's giving classy. Mm-hmm.
I'm having some.
Oh, she came
and
with
some cran watermelon.
Okay. You say Casamigos? Was that?
Woo. I have to real quick. No, it doesn't taste harsh at all. I mixed it. It's really good.
Well,
and I
cheers, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Lex. So first things first, we're gonna hop right into the intro. Just a little icebreaker, just tell anyone what you want us to know about you, just to kind of start, just to soften up the feel. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Lexi. I'm 28. I live in Florida. I currently work in higher education right now, and I am a brand new mom of a 7-month-old baby girl.
Awesome. Yay. Thanks for sharing that. All right. So we're going to hop into the little meat and potatoes. Okay, now we got out the way. It's not meant to be an interview, just, some questions and based on your interests. So first, what is one self-care practice that has significantly impacted your well-being, and how did you discover the benefits of it?
Yeah, so starting off heavy, I know. When I used to think of self-care, I used to be like, I got to do my facials, I got to go to the gym, I got to eat right, things like that. And then when it came down to it, I felt like I really wasn't taking care of the mental and the spiritual. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I was really, really struggling in that area. So, and then things in my life started to happen. I got laid off from my job. I had my baby. I was struggling with postpartum. My relationship wasn't working out. And I felt like a lot of things in my life just weren't going the way that I had anticipated. So I was just kind of like, what am I doing wrong? What's not going right? And I was like, you know what? Like, I really haven't been in touch spiritually. Like, God is like, you're not talking to me. I'm not finding you like praying. I'm not finding you journaling. You're not going to church. You're in a bad relationship and you're not seeking me for help. You're seeking other outlets. So it's really boiled down to, I was in a really bad place, and I was like, you know what? I need to start praying again. I need to be in touch with my spirituality. And, sometimes when you are in a bad place, that's where God wants you to be in order for you to seek him. Mm-hmm. So that's really my self-care now is, instead of, sometimes I would turn to others, sometimes I would turn to a drink, sometimes I would turn to going out. And things that weren't really healthy for me. Now my self-care practices are, you know what, this is not working out for me. Let me turn to the word. Let me turn, to journaling. Let me turn to something like that instead of focusing on how things aren't working out, or focusing on how I could, focusing on gossiping about my life and talking to people about my problems and things like that. So really self-care for me now is prayer and focusing on my relationship with God.
I love that.
I love that too. That's the first time someone has really gave that as a self-care answer, I believe. Right. Because most people go straight to like maintenance and things that deal with our outer appearance and not so much our inner appearance. And I love that you said that. That's a good approach, because self-care is definitely getting in your word and spending more time with God, because it's feeding your soul. So yeah, I love that.
I would say, in addition to that, self-care, like Kia said, a lot of times we look at the physical part and not the inner part, because a lot of times what you're seeing on the outer appearance is what's coming from within. So sometimes you may appear bitter, you may appear angry, you may appear annoyed or irritated. It's not just something happened at one moment. You've been holding that in, and it's letting out at the wrong, at the moment, maybe on the wrong person at the wrong time. You know, they always say there's a place and time for everything. So I feel like sometimes self-care takes a lot of work, inner work, and it takes us to see it, because a lot of times people would tell you something. Oh, you know, maybe you should fix this, maybe you should fix that, and it's like you don't see what's wrong. It takes you to do the inner work. It takes, you know, all that from you. So I would say self-care for sure, besides the superficial things of getting our nails and our hair. That's cool if you feel beautiful on the outside, but you got to have that coming in from the inside as well. So journaling, praying, and like you say, instead of turning to someone and finding answers, they may be going through stuff themselves, and you're adding to their stress, you know what I'm saying? Or they can't really provide you the information you need. But in the day, God, you know, you could pray to God and he could direct you wherever you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not super spiritual, but a prayer or two can lift so many things off of you, the burden or whatever situation you're in. I feel like that's somebody you can go to that's actually going to help you. So I love the fact that you took a different angle when it came to self-care as well. And benefits of that, of course, you're a lot happier once you express those things. You have a journal that you write into. That's just between you and God. You know what I'm saying? You're not having the next person. It could be a friend and they could be understanding, but at the back of their mind, I'm pretty sure all human, we do it. We subconsciously judge people sometimes, or it's just like, dang, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't do that. But in our reality, if you're not in that situation, you don't know what you would actually do. You're only saying that from looking from the outside in. So I would say that's one way of, you know, being more private and being more focused on, and having an intent is also well when it comes to self-care as well. Agreed. That was wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna, you know,
that was wonderful.
We were getting deep there.
I was about to add, you know, sometimes a listening ear can be a running mouth, so you just have to be very, very careful with who you share your personal life with, especially if you're one who have a lot of associates, and if y'all have mutual friends and stuff, you just gotta be careful because they could be telling y'all mutual.
You have to pick and choose your battle in a sense. You gotta know, you know, you do have few of those people that you do have in your life that you can trust, you know, but it's not, we're still going to have certain parts of us that not all our friends and family know of, but you share, you know, certain moments, certain milestones, I should say, you share with certain friends. So agreed. Okay, well, leading off from that, you did specify reading. What book or author that has significantly impacted your life or career, and why? Have you read any books? Have you came across anything that just laid heavy on your heart that may have had some type of positive impact on you?
Yeah. So I have a couple. So the Bible for sure, 10 out of 10 recommend if
Hello.
you want to get into it.
Bestseller for many centuries.
But you know, some people are not spiritual on that level. Understand that. So I do read some self-improvement books. I really recommend, it's called Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. So it's a self-improvement book that really talks about how a woman is more than a mother. She's more than a friend. She's more than a wife or girlfriend, anything like that. She has goals and ambitions that are her own too. So it really emphasizes chasing your dreams and to stop really making excuses, because we'll always have an excuse. For a long time, my excuse was like, I don't have time to go back to school. I don't have time to get my master's degree. You know, I have a lot of things going on in life. Now I have a daughter to attend to. I had a relationship to tend to. You know, I have other outside commitments. So I was really putting things that I wanted aside to please others. So it really emphasized, you know, I have dreams too, and I want more out of life than what maybe society thinks is traditional for a woman. So it really empowered me to go back to school. So now I started to go back to school to get my master's, which I've been trying to do for years. So I just started. So I'm hoping
Congratulations
it can continue.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So it's books like that, really. I do enjoy, like, you know, the fiction books, the mystery, the romance, things like that, to really get out of everyday life and into something else. But things like that can really help you when you are struggling with that motivation, or you are struggling with, you know, things happen in the world and in life that are uncontrollable. And sometimes it causes you to struggle. So just getting that extra push can help.
I love that. Good job, girl.
Right.
Sometimes we just have to get out of our head. I think that's what it, sometimes we're in our head and we're holding our own selves back. So good job for taking
I'll
that
say
step.
congratulations on that because it takes a lot. Me personally, I feel like if you're coming out of college and going straight to get your master's, it's a lot more attainable than when you take a break. A lot of times you put off things and you're like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. And I have this thing that I live by, and I always tell my parents this too. I'm like, I learned it as I got older. And I always say, if you go back 5 years from now and tell yourself, well, 5 years I want to be doing this. Whatever you want to be doing 5 years from now, you should already be doing it because another 5 years from now, you're 10 years out. Another 5 years from now, you're 15 years out. So you're consistently putting it off for later in life. So if you live by they always say to live by the 5 year rule versus making this master plan for 10 to 20 years. And most of those goals aren't attainable. When you make goals, I've always been told that whenever you have a sheet of paper and you make goals, you make 3 goals to accomplish for that day. If you're making 5 or more, you're more likely not to do it because your mind is so preoccupied on what should I do first, when am I going to get it, and you focus more mentally on that than actually getting what you need done. So I feel like when it comes to those things, when it comes to going to college and furthering your career and all that, get up and make that decision right then and there. Financially, yes, it might be a struggle. You got to get a loan. You got to do these. There's other things to consider, other factors to consider. But if you say, well, 2 years from now I'm gonna go back to college, 3 years from now, you're gonna find yourself 10 years from now saying, well, dang, I was gonna do that 10 years ago, and the years go by like that. So I love the fact that, you got up and actually committed to it and say, I'm going to do this, and you're doing it. You're not just saying it, but you're actually doing it. You're proving to yourself. So I love that for you. And also, I haven't specifically read any books that contributed to my life besides the Bible.
Well, that's the most important one. So
besides the Bible, but I don't have a fiction book or anything but I more so read quotes. I like reading quotes because I'm like, okay, these things are more so relatable, and I feel like if I'm reading it and it resonates with me, it's gonna resonate with someone else. So I'm more like a quotes person. I read it and I'm like, it touched me, I'm getting chills, and I'm like, oh, this just spoke to me, and it's just something simple that someone put into words, but it meant so much,
That counts too. It resonates.
Yeah, I feel like whatever,
and you can apply it to your life, so that counts too. I've been getting into memoirs. I love right now I'm reading Michelle Obama's memoir and Jada Pinkett. Okay. So it's just interesting to see them come from the bottom and the struggles that they had to go through to get them to the success they are. Because you can relate a lot. You can find that you'll relate a lot to a lot of successful people as far as their beginning story, and it's just very inspiring. So sometimes I just try to apply the gems that they speak in their memoirs outside of the Bible, obviously.
Yeah. We get a real religion heavy over here.
Listen, to each his own, but I will say, I do agree with that. A lot of times when we see successful people, a lot of times we see the outcome of what they are, who they became. But in all honesty, it's we didn't know their childhood. We never took the time to learn it. People in politics, people just, influencers, whatever the case is. We didn't take the actual time to see that. And a lot of times I feel like it's great. It's more, how should I say, more relatable if you could see someone struggle and where they get to versus they're just posting oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. And it's great that you've, had all these accomplishments, all these things under your belt. But at the end of the day, it's all right, I might aspire to be there, or I might have some kind of dream that's similar to yours. And it's well, how did you get here? How did you get there? All you see is all the glitz and glam, but you don't actually, see the story behind the person. We are all human. We all have struggles. We all have faults. We are not perfect. But a lot of times how society presents itself is oh, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, but we don't see what you did. How many sleepless nights have you had? What were your connects? What road did you take? There's a lot more behind it, and I wish that we could see a lot more of that and get a lot more exposure so we can kind of learn, okay, this person really came from the bottom. Not just saying I came from the bottom in the trenches and the hood. Everybody say that because that's everybody's backstory. But I'm saying actually show us where you came from. Show us where you grow up, what you learned. Right, the journey, how it has shaped you to be who you are now. So I just feel like we need a little bit more of that. But
you got to read. A lot of them, they just write a book about it. You'll really never know until you pick up their book and read it.
I agree. Yeah. Agreed. All right. So leading into the next question here, what roles has your support network played in your experience as a mother, since you're more of a newer mom. We're all moms, but you're newer.
Yeah.
And how do you maintain these relationships? So it's a two-part question.
So becoming a mom has really just changed my outlook on everything. You know, since I was little, I always wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be married. You know, I wanted to have a white picket fence life. And then I had a baby, and I realized that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It's not all the Instagram pictures that you see. It's not like that. So, and having a village is probably one of the most important things ever when having a baby. I remember I was just crying my eyes out in that newborn stage, trying to get her to sleep. And you know, now that I'm also working full time, it's because, you know, I have to support my baby. It's like, what I always think about, like, what would I do if I didn't have that? I would have to, you know, turn to daycare, which would be basically all of my paycheck, because it's so expensive. I wouldn't know what to do. So, you know, my family, they live literally right across the street from me. So my mom cares for my daughter usually during the week while I'm working full time. And I work from home though, so that's a benefit too. But my baby's still at the age where she, you know, needs a constant attention all the time because she's only 7 months old. So my mom cares for her while I'm working, which is such a blessing, really, because I really wouldn't know what to do without it. And maintaining, honestly, since having a baby, my relationship with my family has improved so much. You know, I placed importance on, you know, things that are better for me, I think, than I used to. My focus was really predominantly on my relationship with my partner, and I would focus on pleasing them and doing things for them and focusing on us. And I really neglected other parts of my life. I neglected my friendships. I neglected my family. And then, you know, looking back on it now, I'm just like, that wasn't really important, you know? So it's really, truly a blessing to have my family there. Having friends that also are moms too, to get that advice from. I feel like a lot of my friendships have gotten stronger because, you know, when you have friends that have kids, it's different. You know, you can say all you want to say when you don't have a kid. You can have all the advice when you have children. Oh, I babysat, or I did this, that, and the third. You know, I've been around kids, and then you have your own.
Different, completely different.
It's completely different.
Can't give them back to nobody.
A lot of times, like, you don't have time to maintain the relationships you did with friends that don't have kids because they don't understand really what your commitments are. And it's not that you want to neglect that friendship. It's like, you know, my priority is a little bit different now.
Right.
So it changes you as a person. It really does. But, you know, you love your kids. So, and that change is not, you know, it's not a bad change. It's just a change.
I love that. I agree. I feel like your priorities shift when you become a parent, and your views and just the things that you value altogether changes, because this is, they say, the most rewarding and the hardest job we'll ever get. So, you know, it really makes you sit back and evaluate the relationships you do have and see, okay, is this person, you know, for me? Is this person not for me? A lot of friends, they can't handle what comes, or the new version of yourself. You're not the same version before you have a kid. You're a completely different person. So they may not get that. They may not understand that now you're a new person. You're a mother, and you're a new person who have had to find out who you are as an individual outside of being a mom, which is that's a whole different journey in and of itself. So I agree with everything you said, and I'm so happy we got to have this conversation, because I'm like, I don't think we've spoken to Lexi since she's become a mom.
I know.
And I know it's difficult, but you're doing a great job, and it's definitely more than just posting and cute photos. Girl, I know. The people who aren't parents, they may be like, oh, you know, baby fever. They don't understand. There's way more to it. But she is adorable and cute anyway.
Thank you.
So what I wanted to ask, how, when it comes to role and networking, network like my family around for me. My kid is like the oldest out of all of y'all's.
She
So
is. She's so big.
she
It was
is.
Chanel that said, "Oh, I'm gonna be the last one to."
I
Agreed to have
remember
a
having
baby.
Do
that
you
talk.
remember?
We were at that restaurant. Sandra
And I
said she
was
was
the
gonna be
first
the
to have a
last.
baby.
Chanel said she was gonna be. Look at me, the last one.
Yeah,
I
it
said I
was
was gonna be
literally.
some
I was like,
trophy
No,
oh,
I
I'm
wife.
didn't
the
expect
last
you
one
to
to
be
have
last,
a
Lexi.
baby. No, baby. So,
And Sandra threw me off. I didn't expect. Yeah, but she
right.
doing her
So,
thing.
She
I
sure
love
I
to
love
see
that
it.
is.
for us, though. I love that for us that we've developed, we've taken the time as parents. But me being a mom, I would say because, well, my daughter is 7 now. So for me, it's been welcome into everyone that's coming in. If you guys want to comment,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you.
feel free to
Thank you.
comment.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to comment. We love to interact with you guys as well. I will say, when I will agree with you, Lexi, the first part of motherhood for me, and now mind you, I had the support, but I did the same thing you did. I'm like, oh, I babysat before. How hard could this be? And then I realized babysitting was the difference was I returned the baby. I didn't keep the baby. So for me,
Exactly.
right. So for me, I'm like, okay, my daughter, the first time I had a full night's rest when I had my daughter was when she hit 8 months. And I had support. But for me, it was very important for me to show up and for me to be there. So even though I had the support, it's like, even though, like, you have a mom, you have the grandma, dad, you have all that. For me, it was just something different between me and my child. Like, even if I'm tired, I wanted to change the diaper. I'm tired, I
That
wanted to do this. I
was
had the
me.
support, but I just felt like
Didn't use it.
I needed to do everything because I just knew best. Like, and I tell my parents all the time, like, when my kid used to cry, I would know what each cry meant. I would know when she's hungry. I would know when she needs a diaper change. I would know when, something's wrong. Like, I don't know why, but as moms, it's like we know our children, because of course God made them to where they're communicating by crying. They're not speaking. So you're going to have to figure out, okay, what do they need? And you develop a pattern, you develop a bond, and you've been bonding from tummy to birth. So, you know your child. So for me, it was a little rough at first. I ain't gonna cap now. I mean, I didn't know what sleep was. And it affected
Me
me
neither.
negatively because, you need sleep in order to produce milk. You need sleep in order to show up. You need sleep. And you have, like you said, showing up for not only your family, showing up for yourself, showing up for your child, and showing up for friends. And once you do have a child, a lot of friendships do change. Friends want to go out. I had to cut some friendships off like that. They want to go out all the time. And I'm like, that's great when you don't have a kid. But you got to be like, wait a minute, I got to make sure my kid's good, make sure they have a babysitter, make sure it doesn't, conflict with my schedule. Like, there's a lot of things when you're considering, it's not just you, it's you and someone else you have to consider. So I will say parenting is not the easiest of them all, but the memories that you have, the joys you have, and all them 8 months, I will do them again because at the end of the day, she's mine. So yes, you have to go through it. So when you have a network around you, when you have friends, family, people that are, just like you, like a friend that has a kid, you have, older mom friends. Like, I have older mom friends, and like all my friends group are different. Like, I have single friends, I have friends with younger kids, and I have like older mom friends because you learn. If you're hanging around the people that's just your age, you're going to know is the same thing that they do. But when you're affiliating yourself with people that are older, that have been in your position, they can give you more knowledge. They can let you know, listen, I raised this amount of kids. They can give you something that you may not know you needed. So I feel like having a mixture of people around you is good. Not too much, but just enough, I should say. Having a village around you is one of the most important things for a
That
child, no matter what situation. It's like, listen, the way, you like to go out sometime with your friends, you need a break sometimes, you're going to need that support and say, okay, I can leave my kid with X, Y, and Z. And, okay, I don't have to worry if they're going to eat on time. I don't have to, you're a little bit more at ease. You're a little bit more accepting of that it's okay for you to have fun and not guilt trip yourself like, dang, I'm a mom, I can't go out because I have a kid. I used to do that. I'll be like, oh, I got a
Same.
kid, I can't go out. Oh, I got a kid. Like, I would always, oh, I got a kid. And then as I got older and my kids started to get independent, I'm like, oh, okay, well, she does, enjoy time away from mom. Okay, it's okay. So, you kind of develop those skills and those practices as you get older and start to pay attention to those. So I will say that for sure. Yeah, that's my thoughts on maintaining a relationship. I'm long-winded, y'all. So forgive me.
No, you good. I still
She
haven't
always
slept.
been long-winded. This is
I haven't
nothing
slept
new.
a whole full night, I think, since I've had my baby.
Really?
She still wakes up.
She still wakes up?
She still wakes up.
I think that's typical.
Give it 8-9 months. I didn't sleep till 8 months, fully 8 months. I had one night of sleep, and I woke up thinking it was the next day, and it was still the same night because that has never happened. But I gave 8-9 months. They'll adjust to their sleep schedule.
It varies per baby, but yeah, that's when
Is it where day is still night and night is still day?
No.
She just wakes up constantly.
She wakes up now like once or twice a night. Before, she's waking up like 4 or 5 times a night.
Yeah.
But like she sleeps with me.
That's
and I know that's something. That's something that's not gonna change for a while.
It's okay.
Mine has her own room and she still sleeps with me, child. So
still sleep with me.
They just she'll get out her bed and come sleep with me, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You got a room." I even decorated, so she'll want to stay.
I spent so much time on that room. That girl hasn't spent a day in that crib.
Yeah,
a day. Like I put her in there one day.
Not even for nap.
It doesn't. Crib sleeping is like something I feel like they did.
She don't sleep. She got fear of missing out. She sleeps at night, but during the day. But I mean, it's mostly my mom's problem because she has her while I'm working.
Okay, so she's adjusted to however your mom deals with her.
Has her, yeah.
And they be going out. But yeah.
All right, y'all. So we had a pretty good little caught that tea moment.
Not caught that tea. We were spitting wisdom.
Wisdom, yes. So, of course, y'all, we're going to go ahead and hop into our speed round game. Our guest gave us a few topics. Some of the topics she gave was self-care, which we touched on. You guys, if you came in early, you would have heard that. There's also topics in regards to reading, which we touched on as well, and motherhood. There's other things that she provided, but those were the main 3 that I chose from. So our guest is not prepped at all on these questions, so it should be fun. First things first. Let's talk self-care. True or false? Self-care is anything that soothes you.
True.
Yeah.
True. I would say, yeah. Anything that soothes you. I said anything that feeds your soul. So, yes.
That is actually false.
What?
Because, yes, it is false. Again, the question is, self-care is anything that soothes you. It's actually false. And according to the reading, the reason why it's false is you can actually practice bad self-care, which I didn't even know that was a thing. But yes, you can actually practice.
Well, yeah, self-care could be like overeating. That's bad.
Right. Okay.
That's
like
so I get what they're being too technical.
The key word is
turn into drugs or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Y'all
so
hear
what's the key word?
Right. The key word is anything.
The
key word
so they shouldn't say anything. It should have been like positive.
Right. Okay. So let's get into reading. Yeah. What is the last book in the Twilight novel? Hope you're familiar with that, Lexi.
Oh yeah. This your thing.
Breaking Dawn. B. Life and Death. C. Midnight Sun. Which one is the last book of the Twilight novel?
Yeah, you got this.
Wait, of the novel? Well, okay. So
Twilight
the novels and the movies are different, right? The movie stopped at a different place or something?
No, it's just talking about the book. No, I've watched all of them twice. So
hold on. This is a confusing question.
What is the last book of the Twilight novel? The last one. Think about
she's talking about
Breaking Dawn Part 2.
There's Breaking Dawn, Life and Death, or Midnight Sun.
It's Breaking Dawn. Midnight Sun is another book that came out after them, though.
Okay.
That's
it. Let me guess.
The question? You just answered it. You said Midnight Sun came after them. Yes.
Yes. Because there's the books and then
that's what I
did. Yes. Midnight Sun is technically the last book
at a different spot than the novels.
The novels were like 4 books, and then there was another book that came out later.
Right. Thinking about the movie.
Okay. Midnight Sun technically is the last.
You literally said, "Well, Midnight Sun came out after." So, yeah, that's it.
Anyway, she got it right. It's Midnight Sun.
All right.
So into it.
So we're gonna talk, I guess, a little Grey's Anatomy.
Y'all know my part. Y'all know.
Yes.
Okay,
We know you love Grey's Anatomy.
So, throughout the Grey's Anatomy series, Owen Hunt marries 3 ladies. Name 2 of them.
Christina and Teddy.
Awesome. You got that correct.
I know that. Right. Come on, Grey's Anatomy fan. We only fool with the I only fool with the old Grey's Anatomy. I
stopped at season like 12, but I still keep up a little bit.
I keep trying. It's just taking me forever.
I don't watch the new stuff too much. It's too advanced for me.
It is. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Me either. But
okay. And we have the last question of the night. So of course we know, your daughter's 7 months, but again, she just passed 6 months. So we're gonna talk about 6 months. Name 3 things. Oh, I didn't even tell you. You got 5 seconds to name these. It's fine.
Girl, at this point,
Name 3 things a 6-month-old do at their age, and go.
Start to eat your purees.
Need help?
No.
What is your daughter was 6 months not too long ago?
Okay.
Eating. Teething.
Okay.
They can start crawling, but she hasn't.
Okay, so name something that she has done.
Rolling. She's rolled.
Yeah. Okay. So awesome. So the main 3 I have is sit up. Yes, they can. Rolling is one of them, but I have sit up, rolling over, and responding to their name. At 6 months, when you call their name, they will respond to their name. I did look up, like, when do they start? Because they're so cute when they start to do the little bye, but that's like 7 to 8 months when they
She hasn't done that.
Yes.
She started kisses today.
That's so cute. Oh,
that's good. Yeah.
But you got the eating right too, though. I don't care what the answers say. Eating is one of them too.
Eating is one of them. I agree.
They really start eating.
They say like 4 months they can start purees, but she didn't. She wasn't into it. But I started 6. By 6, she was ready for it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think I gave my kid any pureed food. I think I tried like once or twice, and she didn't like it, and I just stuck with breast. And then,
man, I used to make them home. That was a lot. Homemade. Right. I didn't even do the store bought. That was a lot of work.
I didn't have to worry about that at all. We were like team milk over here because she was allergic to everything.
She didn't eat purees ever?
Nope, she was allergic to everything on this planet.
So she went from straight from breast milk to solids? Ooh.
She wasn't purees at all. I didn't have that problem. I would like mash foods at home, but it wasn't like applesauce wasn't a thing for her. Like all those things that you guys like got to do, the peas, the carrots, no ma'am. Those got like as she got older and could, I would mash them, but not like get them and do that daily. No, that wasn't a part of her routine.
No, I buy the store bought ones.
She was allergic to everything.
I tried to steam them myself, but.
And then I even bought the little containers to put them in to mimic the store. It was too much.
Stuff. And I'm just like, I don't have time.
I was trying to be healthy. I'm like, you don't want him to eat organic food.
I do buy her organic stuff. Everything I buy is organic.
I know, but like,
I couldn't.
Organic, not the jars.
I couldn't.
I did go that route. What is it when you don't eat wheat? It's called something. What is it called?
Gluten free?
Yes. There we go, Lexi. Could not get it. I went that route. I had boiled spaghetti one day. I'm like, boil the noodles. I tasted that. I said, never.
You yourself did gluten free?
Yes, because she was allergic to everything. So I had to eat to breastfeed her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eat right, because she couldn't. At one point in time, I was only eating salad and water. That's the only thing I could eat that wouldn't.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and that's crazy. I would never.
When I first gave birth, I lost like a lot of weight, like right after.
Me too.
I don't know what happened. I need to go back, but like right the first couple months, I was like, oof. I was as thin as a board, and they're like, "You all right?"
That happens.
It happens.
But I had a C-section. I didn't have a natural birth, so that was terrible in itself. Really? But
that's a lot for sure. But as moms, I can say we've, especially when it's your first child, I feel like I don't know, you wanted everything to be so perfect. You're so hands-on with everything. And then it's like, you know, those onesies that you always used to pin up. I promise you, when she got to 6 months, I put that onesie on. It didn't have to be pinned. Like, it's like, I started, like, you just adjust. At that point, you don't want the, you know, super cute pin. The socks got to be on the feet. I'm like, listen, I can
Everything
for later.
makes a mess. They spit up on everything. They
Yeah.
do everything. It's
Yeah.
like,
Really
my
can walk
daughter
around
is in
naked.
like 12 to 18 month clothes though. She's
Yeah.
big. She big
Yeah.
girl.
They grow
And
fast.
I was like, I'd be like, whatever. I do her hair though, because that's important to me. I'm like, I'm
Right.
even though she messing up, but whatever she want to wear, whatever comes out when I'm picking it out is what she wearing for the day.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. And before we head off, Lexi, we'd love to give you the opportunity to close out. If you want anyone to follow you, or if you have anything interesting that you'd like to share, you're free to do so.
Yeah, so you guys can follow me at Lexi Cruz 01. I don't have a podcast yet, but me and a friend have been talking about it for a while now.
Yeah.
So if you
on our
do,
podcast that has mentioned,
Right, you're the second person that's talked about it. I think it's the new wave.
it is.
It is.
Drop the
I
deep
love it.
when y'all finally
It's
do, so
a form
people
of
talk.
self-care. It's a form of self-care.
It is. It's nice to get on here and talk, and like, it's also nice when it's like very organic. You know, you give your opinion. It's very much like we shoot for like a judge-free zone. You know, you're gonna come yourself, show up as you, and we love that. That's what we want. We, you know, converse with you, and we have us a good old time.
Yep, it's an outlet for sure.
So I will definitely keep you guys updated once that, you know, comes to fruition.
I love that. All right, y'all. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you missed tonight's live, it will be up on YouTube later this week, the full episodes, and we'll have clips on our page. Don't forget to follow that. That is a live and on Unfiltered on Instagram. And let's see, on next Tuesday, we'll be back on Kia's page. And am I missing anything? Are we good?
Just make sure you're following all three of us. Just hit the drop down arrow and you'll see all of our names. Follow all of us. And yeah, just stay tuned for more to come.
And we're out. Thank you, ladies.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you,
Thanks
Lexi.
for having me.
Have a good night.
Bye.